The trade deadline came. The trade deadline went.
Hail the cowboy, Mr. McLean. You Americans are all alike. But this time, John Wayne doesn't walk into the sunset with Grace Kelly. Scary Cooper, asshole.
Oh, Diva! Oh, shit! Oh, shit! That was crazy!
Happy trails, Hans.
Dallas still stinks.
Yo, my lord, King Ding back here, and I'm gonna be honest with you right up front. I am disappointed. I am a little bit disappointed and sad that the Eagles didn't make any trades today. I really believed that they were going to. I did, especially when we beat Buffalo. I thought it was on, and I thought we would, and we heard all these rumors and everything about the Eagles and all the plans that they had for today, and nothing happened. And it is disappointing, and we're going to get into it in a second. But before I do that, I want to thank everybody that joined my live stream, all the people that gave super chats, the likes and the subscriptions. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. It meant a lot to me. It was fun. I had a great time. Wish we could have celebrated a trade, but it was fun nonetheless. Now, the other thing I want to say real quick is I'm getting a lot of requests or DMs asking me where they can get this hat. Basically, people I guess are going to the store where the shirts are, and they're wondering where the hats are. But the hats, they're not in the same place. So basically what I wanted to do was I wanted the hats to be embroidered. I wanted them embroidered. I wanted to find an embroidery. And I don't really have a site set up yet for it and all those kind of things. So I'm hosting it on my eBay account. So if you basically go in the description, you'll see links to the hats, and it'll take you to eBay. And that's my eBay account. So you'll know where it's coming from, and you'll see all different kind of hats. You'll see these, you'll see different color type hats like this, you'll see bucket hats, you'll see beanies like this, that kind of thing. And you can basically go check it out and see what's there. I've had 2 samples done, one of the hats like this and a beanie. I haven't seen what the bucket hats look like yet, but I could tell you the embroidery on this hat and the beanie are awesome. They're well done. So that's where you can find it. I've had quite a few people DM me asking me where the hats are at. So that's where it is. Just follow the link in the description. Now, let's get into today. Let's get into what happened, my thoughts, and where we go from here, okay? I really thought that the Eagles were going to make a move. I thought they were going to make a move. I didn't think it was going to be Slay or Chris Harris Jr. or even Patrick Peterson. I didn't think the Eagles were going to go corner. I really didn't. I thought they were going wide receiver. I thought Robbie Anderson made a lot of sense. And that's where I thought they were going to go. But in the end, at the end of the day, I guess everything was too pricey for Howie Roseman, okay? I agreed with the Eagles. You don't give a first plus for Darius Slay. You don't give a second for Chris Harris Jr. You don't give a 1 and then something for Patrick Peterson. Those I agreed with. I totally agreed with. Where I differed with the Eagles and what they did is I would have given a second for Robbie Anderson with the intention of knowing I am overpaying for him, but I'm doing it to help this year, and I'm going to re-sign him next year. That is what I would have done. 26 years old, speed guy, a lot of upside. And that's what I would have done. The Eagles didn't want to do that. I mean, it cost a lot. And listen, the Eagles didn't want to pay, and a lot of other teams did not want to pay today because you saw no trades. You saw no trades, and I think a lot of these teams were demanding a lot because of what they saw when Jalen Ramsey got traded and some of those things. And they were holding some of these players hostage. Let's just be honest. I wish the Eagles would have found a way to get a speed wide receiver, but they didn't. And my thoughts are this. The Eagles, they still can win this division. Okay? Just because we didn't make a move, it doesn't mean I think the season's over or we're done. I believe we can still win this division. I do. Okay? If I get the team that came out last week and put the effort that they did against Buffalo, if I get that week in and week out, they can win a division. I think they can get a home playoff game, and they can win that. Okay, I think those are all very possible, very attainable. Where I worry about the Eagles is when they have to go play New Orleans. Okay, when they have to go back and play Green Bay again. Or San Francisco, I not so worried about. Their defense is great though. But, those big teams like the Saints, I think that's where you're going to have problems. I think that's where we're going to have problems. Now, I'm going to root with the Eagles and my Eagles. I'm going to root with them till the end. I'm with them till the end. But I was hoping a trade today, maybe two, could have been that something that took us over the top, that made it possible to go into New Orleans and compete with that team, because I think New Orleans is better than they were a year ago. Okay? So, yeah, I would have liked the receiver. And I got to say this. The Cincinnati Bengals are got to be the biggest dingbat organization. And I'm sorry, Cincinnati Bengal fans, but you haven't won a game. You bench your quarterback. And you refuse to trade A.J. Green, who's in the last year of a contract. Why? This is why you never win crap. Stinks. Because that would have been perfect. But they didn't want to trade him. So at the end of the day, the Eagles get nothing. Now, what I don't want to hear is that the Jets never talked to the Eagles about Robbie Anderson because the stinking Cowboys wouldn't get off the phone because they were trying to get Jamal Adams. And thank God they didn't get Jamal Adams. He's a good player. And that would have made them nasty. To add him and Bennett would have been awesome. But they would have had to give up a lot. So I don't even blame the Cowboys for not doing that trade. But I just hope they weren't tying up the line the whole entire time. Really, seriously, So, really, there was no trades. Aqib Talib went to Miami in basically a salary dump. I think the Rams gave a 5th-round pick to basically take him off their hands. I was hoping Devontae Parker would come loose too. It just didn't happen. It just didn't work out, And as far as the Eagles, and I was saying, I still think we could win a division. I still think we could win a first round of playoffs. I'm scared about those New Orleans Saints and being in a situation having to go to New Orleans or somewhere like that, even go back to Green Bay again. Those games would scare me, okay? And if the Eagles can find a way to get DeSean Jackson back on the field and to basically get DeSean Jackson at 85, 95%. Okay, and when I talk about percentage of health, I'm talking about his speed. If DeSean Jackson can keep 80 to 100, between 80 and 100% his speed, even though he's hurt and he's going to be playing hurt, Eagles are then very, very dangerous. Then I think they can go compete with some other teams. But you have to have DeSean Jackson back. To me, this whole season right now, where we go and how far we can go, to me it's contingent on if DeSean Jackson can come back and be healthy. And I'm worried about it because I'm not so sure. What I'm hearing is 60, 70% possible. If he loses that much speed, it's a problem for us. What we need from DeSean Jackson is to stretch that field. The reason why I wanted another receiver was it's an insurance policy. If we lose DeSean Jackson for the year, if he can't come back healthy, they said he's going to play through pain. So I think when you look at the Eagles, I think without DeSean Jackson, they can win a division. They can win a playoff game at home. But if you add him back into this team, and I mean a DeSean Jackson who's effective at stretching the field, then I think the Eagles are very dangerous. And, any given Sunday, play anybody. That's just the way it is. DeSean is the key as far as I'm concerned. Because you have to have somebody that can stretch the ball. You get no production from Matt Collins. You get no production from It's Just Nelson. You get no production from any of these guys. DeSean Jackson right now is the key to the Eagles taking that next step, in my opinion. As far as the secondary goes, you got Darby back, you got Mills back, you're going to get Cravion LeBlanc back, and you're going to get Timmy Jernigan back on the defensive line. You're going to get Nigel Bradham back. So I think the defense can actually round into form. I think that the corners with Mills and Darby, and then you add Cravion LeBlanc, and let's not forget Vontae Max. You add all these guys back. I think that they're at the very least could be good or competent. Okay, but I still think you're going to have to be able to beat teams by scoring a lot of points. And DeSean Jackson, in my opinion, is the key to this whole thing. Now, if it was me and I had the chance to be GM for the day, which, just give me 24 hours, so I'll make sure this happens. If I was, I would say this. Antonio Brown is still out there. I know a lot of people don't like him. I know that people don't want guys that have off the field problems, and you want to be at every point of life or whatever and know what they're doing, and if it's not perfect, you don't want them. I get it. But give me 8 weeks. Give me 7 weeks. Okay? Sign him. Sign him and just say, give us your best. We'll help you go to another team after the season and get another contract. But be on your best behavior. I think he'll be a Boy Scout. I think he would. Just do it for 7, 8 weeks. People talk about, he's going to go on the exemplance. I don't think that's going to happen now. And if it does, it won't be long because there's no investigation. There's nowhere they can really go. No charges, no criminal investigation. The suits are done. Everything's over. He's coming back. And now there's probably going to be more interest in him that teams basically, don't have any other choices. The other option, if not that, is if Josh Gordon gets cut, I pick him up. I think one of those two guys, if it was me, and the Eagles, I'm not saying they're going to do it. I'm not saying I think they'll do it. I heard they'll do it. I'm just saying if it was me and I could do it, my own personal opinion, I would sign Antonio Brown or Josh Gordon. One of those guys would be coming, and you could get them, and it would be cheap. And you wouldn't have guaranteed money, and it could be for 1 year, and it could help us out, especially if DeSean Jackson re-injures himself, can't go full speed. I mean, it's very likely that DeSean Jackson could come back in, play a game, and then have re-pull it or re-aggravate his abdomen, groin, whatever the hell it is, and then we're in a situation again. So, to me, I would look at that, but I don't know that the Eagles will. But it's going to be interesting. But that's basically what happened today. It's where we are. We play the Chicago Bears. Time to eat some Trubisky this week. I like the Eagles' chances. We'll get more into that later in the week. But right now, I think that the Eagles, defensively, they're getting healthy. And I think offensively, if you want to take it to the next level, we need DeSean Jackson to step up and be who we brought him in to be. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Don't be a dingbat.